Okay, and we're back, and we're talking about day one releases of stuff. And I hope you're here with us on the world's most lonely podcast / channel. No one talks to me.
You have two friends.
I have two friends.
Depends on who. It's either Tyler's either with you or I'm with
either,
you,
or it's either me
or
Mario. You and Super Mario. God, it's hot. Should have worn a different shirt.
Do you want mine?
No. Penny, sniff the mic.
Sniff the mic.
She doesn't. You have to put like chicken next to it.
Right.
Okay, let me just get this all set up and we'll get to talking here. It's hard to do this when you have only like one computer screen. But I think we're good. But then I'm looking here and nothing's happening.
Isn't there a delay?
There is a delay, but it should have already done it. So there's something wrong here with the stream. Yeah, there's something wrong with... Oh, there we go. Okay. It's a long delay. So it's okay. But we're not using that. We're using this chat window here. Although we should probably just keep that open just to make sure we're good. Okay. So, how are you, Adam?
Good. How are you, Arnell?
It's good. This is the Laylo over here. We're friends. We like video games. This is Penny. Right here. That's Penny. And let me introduce you to the setup really quick to see, because you're seeing all this stuff, but here's the microphone. That camera over there in the distance, that's kind of a wide shot. Right, so that's what we're looking here. And then we also have our other shot, which is our close-up. So we can bring stuff over here to look at. All right, so fancy stuff over there. I got my chat window. There we go. And also, I'll invite just Tyler if he wants to talk. I don't feel great. It might be the heat. Maybe I need some water. Ariana, can I have some water? Please?
There's ice too. He's gonna have heat stroke, like Survivor style. He's competing in a Survivor competition. It is warm.
I think it's in the bedroom.
I'm already here.
That works too.
I need to cool the carpet again. With a pee-pee.
Or we can chat.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
No ice? Do you need it to be cold?
No.
Okay.
I'm like, what?
Not wine.
Wine?
Wine? Remember Joanna's ex? Where I think something had ice, and then he was mad because there was ice in it, and he made her get rid of the ice. Yeah, he just pawed it out of her.
Wait, I don't like ice.
Pretty bad. Yeah, it's okay. So the stream here, what we're talking today is we're talking about our favorite day one video game releases. And we're not that old, but we're getting old. But the thing that we have an advantage for us millennials is that we don't have children. The majority of us don't have children. We're adult babies with disposable incomes. And we don't own anything except for video games and collector's editions of the video games. Please don't poop on me. Oh my god, what are you doing? It's like a snake.
I can't swear, right? Or I shouldn't swear.
Not for a while.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You're gonna say the thing?
Taking a poop, Penny. Taking a poop.
Poop, Penny? Oh, I should.
My dog likes to poop in a corner when it's raining.
Yeah.
So I shouted at her, you taking a poop? But the expletive of poop. Okay, miss. You need to sit. Also, our age too. As we were growing up, we still had disposable income a little bit. Like when we had jobs, we can still afford a video game.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
Trying to make another social post here. Let's see, streaming, but not Tears of the Kingdom. And it is warm today, dude. I'm like sweating.
Yeah, I mean, it's 74 in here, but the AC won't kick on until it's 76.
Wow.
You know, it's the high
Like my
ceilings,
meme?
man. Huh?
Streaming, but not like Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
not Zelda. Oh. Our competition is Tears of the Kingdom right now.
You know, I was looking on who was streaming earlier,
Mhm.
and no one was playing Zelda. Well, maybe because
Well,
they don't
good for-
follow.
Oh,
Like,
well, yeah, but if
variety
you just
streamers.
put in like, if you just type in into Twitch like Legend of Zelda Breath of the
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom, you'll find it. It's like
Like-
it's everywhere. It was there on like 6 p.m. on Thursday.
Yeah, like, look. Well, these people all play different. They don't play. Oh, that guy. I'm surprised that guy's playing Tears, but
Mhm.
like no one's playing it.
Yeah, but I mean that's your channels. But if you search for it, you'll find like everyone's streaming it, which is
Yeah.
kind of like, well, then why even stream that game if everyone's streaming that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're some hot babe who's dressed up as
A hot
um,
babe.
as a bokoblin.
There's more people streaming World of Warcraft than there are Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like most people who are streamers, they don't play those types of games. It's like not their, meat and potatoes. And the people who play Legend of Zelda, they're more like single player campaign players. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think there's a competition going on in WoW. That's why.
No, it's that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about this. This is and it could be empty in this chat thing, but whatever. We'll just record this. But we're talking about favorite day one releases. This is our first chat together doing this. We're in a beautiful Folsom, California on a 97-degree day, and the AC won't kick in.
It's 82,
Okay,
but it will
fine.
be 897.
Okay. So yeah, we're talking about first day one releases, and we were talking about being millennials and being of an age group. Like one of the people who follows me on stuff is Super Mario XY, and his very first Zelda game was Breath of the Wild, and I'm just like, man, I'm old. Your first Zelda game was Breath of the Wild, and so many people's games, their first Zelda game is Breath of the Wild. And my first Zelda game that I ever played was Ocarina of Time, but I didn't get that on day one. I didn't even know what Zelda was, right?
Mhm.
But then that's just like a whole cool discussion about what are our memories of the best ones. I mean, we made a list, and we can just go down that list and we can talk forth. But yeah, let's start with you. What's your? I have a list. You can look here, but what's one of your favorite first day game one releases?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a game now that would definitely get me to buy day one was Resident Evil 4. Like, they just remade it.
Yeah.
And I was against buying, or I've kind of switched my mentality of, like, buying video games, like, on day one just because they tend to go on sale and so it'd be cheaper. But Resident Evil 4 is my all-time favorite, and I had to play the remake.
Yeah.
So, it was very good.
I'll be right back.
Like, it was worth the $60 for sure.
$60 for the remake? I thought
Yeah.
it was more than that.
No,
I
it
don't
was
know
60.
why this keeps turning off.
It was $60.
This is a problematic camera is what this is.
Want me to move the vacuum too?
No, I don't think it's in there.
It is.
It is.
Well, if you're standing.
Yeah, interesting. This is dumb. It's supposed to be hardwired in there. But yeah, I'm fat. Yeah, I can. Sweaty. Alright. And hopefully now this here doesn't turn off. But yeah, we'll just do web page instead. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Resident Evil 4.
Oh, was it 70? It was not 70.
The game's expensive.
No,
It
it's
says
60
60
bucks.
here.
Yeah, it was 60.
Yeah.
Whoa, why is Jill naked?
Ooh, sexy. There you go. Yeah, so Resident Evil 4, like when you got that game, it was you got that day one. And I remember when I came here, we were going here for a snowboard trip. I don't know if it was me and Tyler, me and Jason.
It was Tyler, because I was afraid of spoiling it.
Yeah, we came and then we looked at it, and I think he beat it, but I don't know what his thoughts were on it. But what'd you think of it?
I really liked it.
You like it?
Like the Krauser fight was the main thing that I wasn't a huge fan of, because instead of quick time events, it was more you have to parry his stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was probably one things I was nervous about on the playthrough, because he'll hit hard. But yeah, I thought it was really good. I mean, the only thing that I can complain about is like maybe the Ada voice actress. Like, she sounded fine, but like her delivery wasn't very good.
How's Ashley in it? Because like a lot of people, they would complain about her because she'd be like, Leon.
It's a lot better. It's not so.
Well, what does she
whiny.
do? What does she say? Does she still say Leon? I haven't played it.
I think she says like, I don't even know. It's not noticeable, which is kind of funny. I think she may say like help, or she may just scream. Like, I think she screams when she gets picked up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that works out pretty good then, because it's like, if it doesn't even occur to you, then it doesn't stand out. You know.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they say like, if something doesn't stand out, if it's not obvious, then you've done your job.
Yep.
You know, if it stands out, then it's like, ooh.
Yeah, there wasn't anything that any of them said that I was like, oh damn, that's like super annoying. But yeah. No, everything, like the graphics were really good, like the pacing of it was very good. Even like there was times where I felt like I was running out of ammo, which in previously I felt like I had too much ammo.
Yeah.
So it was a nice balance of like scrounging for like supplies and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Resident Evil 4, I played the first one, and I bought it's like a 3-pack. It came for the Switch, and it comes with 4, 5, and 6. And I was pretty jazzed and excited to get that. You know, like 5 is, I don't really like 5 that much, because, I mean, what's even the point of, what's her name, Shiva?
She steals your ammo.
Shiba?
Something like that.
Yeah, and she heals you, and it's like, don't heal me right now.
Yeah, she wastes all your stuff.
Yeah,
I usually gave her stuff I didn't care about.
And then you punch a boulder, you know, and the graphics were honestly really ugly in that game. You're so green. It's an ugly looking game. It just is. And it was nothing like a Resident Evil game. And I tried playing 6, and I have a coworker who, I asked her if she's played Resident Evil, and she says her favorite one is 6. I'm like, 6?
I couldn't even get through the first section.
I think the idea was that you're supposed to be playing with other people, right?
Was it?
I think so. I think like other players come in your game.
I don't remember that.
I don't know.
I mean, it could be. Like, how far did you get in that game?
I just remember that I got to like a part of the neighborhood, and then I was like shooting up, like it was in a bar, and I was like shooting the windows, and zombies were coming in.
Huh.
It was like maybe like 2 hours in to Leon's storyline.
Wasn't there like a minecart in that game too?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
All I remember was it wasn't. I played on the Switch, and I thought it was pretty lackluster.
Yeah.
So then I tried playing Resident Evil 4, the original, on the Switch, and God, it is awful. You know, in terms of like how games are, a lot of times we think of games being really awesome for nostalgia. Resident Evil 4 is a god awful game by modern standards, and unless you played it now, you won't realize how bad it is.
I played it. I bought it again when it came out on the PC, and I hooked it up to an Xbox controller. It wasn't that bad.
Well, didn't you notice that like there is no camera stick? It's tank controls mixed with third person shooting, and it just doesn't work because like nowadays with third person shooting, it's very intuitive. It's like you move your character around. It's no longer tank style. You can move the camera around too to look around. But in Resident Evil 4, there is no look around. You have to move the character tank style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And and then the aiming is nonsensical, and you fire with A or B. That's how you fire in the game.
Because you had to hold like a trigger and then push A, right?
Yep.
Okay, I think I remember that.
It's not good. And then each time you pick up an item, right? It shows you the screen of what you picked up. And if there's a bunch of stuff, it's like, why am I even seeing this? There's no point in seeing this. So Resident Evil 4, the original, is like, it does not age well. It really doesn't.
Huh. I think I just
Hey, what's up, Hydro? Happy Mother's Day, dude.
Hello.
How you doing, man? We're talking about our favorite game day video game releases, and we're like in our 30s, so there's a lot of memories that we're talking about, and we're talking about this because you know, the new Zelda came out, so there's hype about it. I know a lot of people, they're getting it in day one, so we want to talk about our favorite day one releases. And the guest today is Lalo. He was chatting up last week. His real name is...
Don't say it. I'm just kidding. My name's Adam.
It's Adam. Ugh. And then if you don't see her, but Penny's over here.
There's
Penny
a
the
dog
dog.
on my lap.
Right there. Yeah, we were just talking about Resident Evil 4. And Resident Evil 4 is one of Adam's, Lalo's, one of his favorite games, like the franchise, right? Really, you know, it's like you just get that on day one. What did I say? Let's see. I made a list. I have to check.
Batman games? Batman games?
I mean, yeah, that is one. Yeah, I
You
can
need
talk
to make
about
a
that.
list.
I did. Right there.
There's two things. PSP?
Yeah.
Oh, you got the PSP on day one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I have like a bunch of things I can talk about. So, Hydrocritical, feel free to share like some of your favorite day one game releases, and we can talk about that too. That'd be really dope. So another one, like for me, one of the things, there's just so much. Like I can go on all day, but one of the ones that I guess it would just be the PSP, if you want to call it that. You know.
So you bought that on day one?
Yeah, and I was pretty proud of that one, honestly, because so at that time I was a sophomore in high school when this thing came out, and I was reading all the magazines, getting really excited for it because it was supposed to be like a PlayStation, even possibly a PlayStation 2 in your hands, and it was a competitor to Nintendo, and I had a DS, not the original one, the ugly one. I had the DS Lite, and that was a good system. The original DS is a terrible, ugly system. And for the PSP, it was such an expensive unit. It was like, a $250, and it didn't come with a game.
Yep.
But I remember seeing what it came with. It came with like a little pouch. It came with earbuds, with a control stick. It came with Spider-Man 2 on the UMD disc, and like these UMD discs, like.
I remember. I had one too.
Yeah, look at these.
What did you play? Like, what were you stoked
Well,
to play?
okay, so there was nothing that came out good on day one, so
Yeah.
I didn't buy any game for it. I was just excited about the system, you know, and I forgot that I had to buy a game and buy a memory card, and I saved up just enough money to buy the PSP, just the system itself, for $270 with the tax, right? So I bought it, and then I was like, I don't have any games. So I was waiting for any game to come out, and I think the first one I got was Tony Hawk Underground.
Cool.
It was a cool game. I really liked it. You can change your skin to be... It was dumb. Tony Hawk Underground.
The things that we buy on, like, when we're stoked for a new system, like, when I got my PSP, I played Patapon.
Yeah. Patapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to get that, but like I didn't have any money, you know. And you know, the only reason why I bought this game was because I was scrounging at the used section to buy one, and I don't know why I never just asked my parents just to buy me the video game. I always saved money from like crushing cans and like doing random chores around the house to get money to buy things.
Cool, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I could have
Just asked.
Like,
Yeah.
but also it was expensive. $250 in like 2003 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then there was the memory card, the stupid memory card you had to buy. And I looked for deals on Fry's Electronics, and I remember I bought a 1 gigabyte memory card, proprietary memory card for the PSP, and it like original price was like $150, and I saw it for like $40 at and it was like, gotta get this one. Ridiculous. I still have it.
Do you still have your PSP? I still have mine too. I just don't.
Wait, no, I don't have my original PSP. I sold it so I can get a PSP Lite back in college, and then somebody asked for a PSP in the Philippines, so I sent it over, and I was kind of bummed. I was like, damn, I should have kept it. So then during the pandemic, I bought a PSP again so I can play Crisis Core. And this is before Crisis Core was even announced to be like a remake for PlayStation for the new systems, you know. So I played that, and that was just like good memories down the road. I was like, wow, like this very much inspires the gameplay for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Was the PS Lite the one that flips up like a
No,
like a
that's
sidekick?
that's the PSP Go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I saw that on the web page.
Yeah.
Internet.
That's PSP Go.
Did you ever get the PS Vita?
I do. I still have that. Actually, Ariana got me that for Christmas a few years ago, and it was like, I mean, the PS Vita was dead, like, you know, but there was a bigger homebrew community, and her brother's friend got me really excited about, you know, the idea of homebrewing the PS Vita, and I did it for the PSP also back in the day, but for the PS Vita, you could also, there were so many PSP ISOs that you can get to load up, and there were even PS Vita games, like maybe 30% of the very small PS Vita collection was on. It was like on there on like a shared database for everyone to download, but not everything was on there. But
What's
then
homebrew?
homebrew is just like hacking the system.
Okay.
But it was a really complicated thing for the PS Vita. You had to You had to have a very specific firmware, and then you load another app onto there, which breaks it breaks the OS on the PS Vita, and then you load another software on there, which allows you to play PS Vita or PSP or Game Boy Advance or Game Boy, and they all have their own emulators, but not all of them are very good. And then you had to go and find the actual games themselves, and finding stuff for like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Color, Advance, those are very easy to get. But when it comes to the PSP, that one's a little bit harder. Crisis Core wasn't on that list. That's why I bought a PSP to play Crisis Core.
Yeah.
And in PS Vita, you can find some games. And then even like the Game Boy Advance ISOs, sometimes they would corrupt. Like I played Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced. Have you ever played that?
Yes.
So
that one's really good.
Yeah, that's a fun game. And at the very end of the game, you're required to save. But I noticed on the ISO, you can't save. It crashes the game. So I never beat the game. I got to the final boss because I was using save states to save.
Yeah.
Right? And I was never able to beat it because there was a bug in the system where you couldn't save in the emulator. And I was like, this is bull. So I just watched it on YouTube and I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like one of my favorite memories of because it was like my own money that I saved to buy my very first system, but I didn't have enough money to buy a video game.
Yeah.
What's another one for you?
A good memory for me is with WoW. So I used to play World of Warcraft. Specifically, this was back in the day where buying digital wasn't a thing, or at least I don't think it was. It was back in like 2008, and so you had to like buy, or at least I did. I bought the Frozen Throne on GameStop, and I had to go to, and this was when I was in college, so I had to go to like a GameStop in Capitola and wait in line because that was the only GameStop. There wasn't a GameStop in Santa Cruz. So
Okay, it's in college. Okay.
Yeah, and so I had to go to at midnight, pick it up, and then go home.
And is it the Frozen Throne?
Frozen Throne. So, I know you don't know this story, but essentially, like, there's a character named Arthas, and he
is it the green dude?
No, Arthas is.
Is it that guy?
Yeah. So he has like a fall from grace, and he becomes the Lich King, and so he's like this big.
Oh, I know the Lich King.
Yeah. So he's like this big bad, and this was that expansion.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very fun. Like I was a huge WoW nerd. Like I played it forever, and the reason why I dropped out of college.
Oh my god! Wow.
But good memories. I've had some. I met some good friends on there, and
I mean, do you still talk to these friends?
Yeah, I do.
Is there still a BlizzCon? Is that still a thing?
I don't know if they've done it since COVID. I mean, honestly, like for me, like BlizzCon was fun to go hang out with all your friends that you met in game. But as for like a convention, it really wasn't that great. Because they only have like 4 or 5 games, and it's really like announcing in the next patch.
Yeah.
And then you can usually play those games. Like they'll have a bunch of like gaming stations, and you can play it. So like I played Overwatch before it came out.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. But like other than that, I mean, they usually have like a band like Linkin Park and Blink-182 played one time.
Oh right. Oh, you know what's funny? I was watching TV the other day, and it was the NFL draft, right? And there was like a whole crowd who went to go see the NFL draft. I'm just thinking, I like football, but I would never go to the NFL draft. It's boring. You can be summed up in an article. Why do people fly out for the NFL draft? So on there, day 2, Fall Out Boy is playing as one of the performances. I was like, oh, that's cool. I like Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
And then also I noticed that the guitarist he was playing, but I know that the guitarist announced that he was leaving the band for many reasons. One, he was saying like he just wanted to focus on himself, like the usual kind of bull thing to say like you just want out of it. But another reason why is because he said this many times, but that like the future of the band has become less guitar heavy. And he's a guitarist, so he has no interest in playing music that doesn't have guitar in it. It's like, what's the point of this?
Is Pete Wentz still in the band?
Yeah, he's the bassist.
Is he the bassist? Okay.
Yeah, he's the bassist. I think honestly the eye candy of that band is their drummer.
I don't think I've ever seen that person.
That guy is buff, dude. This Fall Out Boy drummer. He's just like this buff tattoo dude, you know? Like, if you're into this, like, look at everyone else. Everyone else looks like a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
You know, look at Pete Winston's. I guess people like his baby face and, what's his name?
I don't know.
The main dude, Patrick Stump, looks like he's balding, and he always wears the same stupid hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like Fall Out Boy. And their new album's okay. It's kind of grown on me, but when I say grown on me, 3 songs.
Yeah.
But, like, my favorite one is Stay Rock and Roll. That one is a great album.
Do they play football at the NFL draft, or is it just, hey?
I mean, they might have, like, some exhibition stuff.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like spring training. Like, why do they go to spring?
No, it's not.
It's
It's a draft.
There, right? Okay.
Yeah, spring training, they practice.
Yeah.
It's an actual practice season. NFL draft is just
they just get together and
they're just drafting.
touch
It's
butts.
literally like, yeah, they touch butts. They fart on each other's farts.
Yeah.
That's what they do. So that's WoW. What else was good about WoW? Like, a Frozen Throne was one, but did you also get the other ones?
I did, but it wasn't like I didn't go to the store. But for sure, like I would play. I'm gonna forget all the names. I can't remember. So what came after that? Was it Pandaria? But basically, like I would take a week off from work to play WoW.
Yeah.
And because I was in a guild and we like were trying
that's
to
cool.
we wanted to level up and like get geared to do raids. So raids were like these 20 to 25 people like things where you have to and then I was one of the like key members of the
Yeah, my warriors are gone. They played like shit, dude.
but yeah, I just like WoW was just a big part of my life for like a really long time.
Yeah.
But then I could.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So you quit. You don't even play. Did you watch the movie?
It's a slippery slope. Yeah, actually on the DVD.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Did you like it, or did you? Watch
I didn't
it?
watch it. I had no interest in watching that.
It's not bad.
So what's funny is that it just looked
Looks
like
cool.
it looks like a complete CG movie.
Yes.
I don't like complete CG movies.
Did you like Avatar though?
Avatar is different though because the art direction of that is very much more of like
But it's still a
it
complete
looks like
CG
that.
movie.
Yeah, it's a complete CG movie. That's really well done. But Warcraft didn't really look very well done.
I thought it did.
You think it didn't look good?
Wasn't it done by Weta?
I don't know. I didn't really like it. I didn't like the art direction. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Like the art direction could be many things, but it's just the style. You know,
Mhm.
like Dungeons and Dragons had its own art direction. I like that one a lot. Like it was just a fun movie, and then yeah, that was really good. Back to the Warriors, dude. Yeah, you know the Warriors didn't have a great season, and neither did the Lakers. The Lakers didn't have a great season either, and both of those teams weaseled their way into the playoffs. But you know what really matters is your performance in the playoffs, and unfortunately, this is kind of funny. Both the Celtics and the Warriors got knocked out in the same round. The two teams that went to the finals last year both got knocked out in the same round, literally, possibly like a day apart from each other. So that's pretty interesting. You know, just that whole thing. But also, if anything, the playoffs have shown what a strong team the Lakers are this year. Like, despite their fallbacks as a team during the regular season, Anthony Davis is a great defensive player. There was no way that they could even stop that guy from blocking shots, taking the ball, going up for drives, and sending LeBron down the court. Like, I hate LeBron. I respect Anthony Davis and LeBron, but I hate LeBron more. But whatever. What's up, Super Mario XY? We're just talking about our favorite video game day one releases, and this is my buddy Lalo. He's been in the chat for a couple things.
Hello.
And his favorite, we've already shared a couple. Like the other couple that we talked about were Resident Evil 4 remake. I came over to his place when we were going snowboarding, and we saw him play, and it looked pretty sweet. And then I also talked about the PSP, and he talked about Warcraft. So I guess it goes back to me. Like, what's another one for me? Well, in the spirit of things, I guess we can call Zelda. You know. Sure. So like this isn't like the last one I talked about was the PSP, and I bought that on day one when the console came out. So it's the same thing for the Zelda games. Like I bought the Nintendo Switch on day one. I remember when I saw the ad for the Switch, I was blown away because I didn't like what they did with the Nintendo 3DS. I thought it wasn't a very good system. The graphics were ugly. It was pretty much the same as the 3DS, the regular DS in my opinion. And I just honestly the 3DS, it carried Nintendo through a very difficult time. After the massive sales of the Wii, you know, and no one bought the Wii U. it sold less than 14 million units for its entire lifespan for the Wii U. It was that bad. The
I can see that.
3DS is what carried Nintendo through that really difficult time.
Yeah.
So then I was pretty much expecting Nintendo to kind of die, because like they just weren't. They made a bad business decision. And, one bad business decision can really destroy your company. But when I saw the ad for the Nintendo Switch, I was just so impressed by how good it was. Like, this is like really old here. Maybe let's see, original Nintendo Switch ad. Are any of these things here? I remember there was just like a person.
Is that the first look? Or is that the...
We can just do the spot here. Man, it's warm today. Okay. I mean, it's just like the idea of it is just like a portable system where you can do AAA games, AAA developed games on a portable handheld and be able to just seamlessly put it in. I remember like when they showed it and then them playing it all over the place and taking off the Joy-Cons, I was like, oh, that's a cool system. And then when they put it into the dock and it shows it on the TV, I was blown away. I was like, holy cow. What a cool system. And then when the price was announced, $300, I was like, I can stomach $300. It's a really cool system. Pre-orders went in. I went on to Best Buy, put it all in, got it in. And I had to go all the way to Marin, and Mark drove me there so I could play Zelda in the car, like right away. And it was just like, I remember I wouldn't watch anything about Breath of the Wild. I knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
And I was just confused. I was like, this isn't Zelda. This is a completely different game. And at first, for like the first 3 or 4 hours, I did not like Breath of the Wild. I was like, I didn't like any of the mechanics because it was not a traditional Zelda game. And then after I got off that hurdle and I figured out the mechanics, figured out what to do, I fell in love with the game because of the sheer amount of exploration and creativity that you have. You can do whatever you want. You can explore, and to have the freedom to explore in a virtual world as big as that game is, in a handheld form was a huge thing for me. Like it was the reason why I love the Switch so much. It was just awesome, and it took a long time for them to release new games for the system. It took a very long time.
I was laughing because they switched things up.
Yeah, they did switch things up. Nerd. So Hydro is saying that you only ever got one game day one, and you think it was Mortal Kombat X? Wow. That's an interesting choice. Mortal Kombat X. Yeah. And Mario Odyssey. Do you guys experience hype at all for any of this stuff? Because I get hype. Like I know, like Super Mario XY, you had a Tears of the Kingdom downloaded day one. I know that. Splatoon 3, I got that on day one also. Splatoon 3, that was a one. I'll quickly talk about that one. Yeah, so Splatoon 3, I bought when I was on my honeymoon, and I was in London. So then I just went into this place. It's called Harrods. And Harrods is this like really fancy department store in London. Like it's pretty expensive and really nice. And then on the top floor, there's an electronics section where you can buy like cameras, lenses, and it's pretty sweet. And they also have a video game section, a really small video game section. But then they had Splatoon there, Splatoon 3, and I could have bought the special edition one. I could have bought the controller for Splatoon 3, but I just got the game. And I remember the guy who, when he took it out, he just said like, I think you're the first person buying Splatoon 3. And I'm thinking also, like, I don't think there's really any places. I've been told by people in London that there's not really a big fanfare for video games or comic books there. So they don't have as many stores. So it can be you have to pretty much just go to, like, a couple places where they would have the games and stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is weird, right?
So I wonder what do they have GameStops there, or, like, you have to...
They have this thing called CETX, I think. Yeah, it's like it is like a GameStop, but a little bit more I wouldn't say dingier. It really feels like it's from the 90s. Like it feels like a Funko land.
Interesting.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. CTX London. I forget what it's called. Video game store, and it's even weirder in other places. There is CEX. In other places, it's in Paris or in other places, Barcelona. They don't have stores like this. This is so it is kind of nice that they have this, you know. But like you can kind of tell, like it's not the same. Like just by the storefront, how they have things laid out. It's not like a GameStop.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's an okay store. I almost bought actually a Nintendo 64, Nintendo Switch controller there, and I decided not to because it would be like $120, which luckily I got mine for regular price. I got really lucky on that one.
It's so interesting that you can buy video games at Harrods because you can also buy a $12,000 Panther Baccarat statue.
On that day when we got your Celine wallet,
Yeah.
I got that.
Yeah.
And it was cool too because it was a PAL game, and I knew that the Nintendo Switch is it's a region free. It's not locked at all.
I was gonna ask that next. Like, I was surprised that like it's not.
When the Nintendo Switch came out, they announced that it was gonna be region free. Like people on the internet were like, "Whoa!" Because now you can buy any game you want on it. In fact, if you were to make a Japanese account, you can look at the Japanese eStore and download the Japanese games that are not in the American eStore on.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of freedom in it. It's
I
pretty
should tell
cool.
my friend that. My friend and I were talking about that on the drive because I came from like on Friday when I was coming back from Fremont.
Yeah.
He wanted to buy something and he was afraid of buying it like an EU version. But all Nintendo Switch games are region free.
Yep. Region free.
I don't remember if it was that or if it was PlayStation, but I'll let
The
him
only
know.
difference would be things that they change for localization. So Japan has pretty strict laws for gore. So if you were to get Dead Space, I think if you got Dead Space or even like Last of Us, in Japan, the gore and blood is very much reduced, or it's different. And for one of the games, I think it was Dead Space, the new remake game, he specifically had to go through a VPN to get the American version of Dead Space, the remake, because the Japanese one has no like blood and guts, and like he wants to have the blood and guts.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think about anime like that because like there's an uncensored anime like where you can see the gore, but when you watch it, if it's censored, you can clearly see like I don't know if you ever watched an anime with like the black or white bars.
Yeah.
That are censored, but like I wonder like what like how that is like how they're allowed to do uncensored anime, like how that all works,
Yeah.
and why it applies to video games, like why. And I don't know. This is interesting.
I don't know, localization laws or whatever.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Right. And sometimes even in video games, for a while, there was a mode where it turns off the blood and gore. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like you can even turn it into alien blood to make the blood like a different color, so it doesn't look like it's not red. It's like green or purple.
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
I think I would do that.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. So yeah, that was Splatoon 3 really quick. But let's bounce it back to you. What's another one you're talking about?
I mean, the next. I mean, we have boxes here too.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Persona 5. Yeah,
I was actually late to the Persona 5 franchise, so I first heard about it. I had a coworker that was talking about Persona 5, and the way he was describing it just sounded so bizarre. Like you're playing as this group of teenagers, and you're trying to like steal or like correct the hearts of people, and you go into these palaces and you do day by day things. Just me describing it to you, it's hard to. It's so obscure. And so I was like, I think I got it for sale on something. I was like, I'm just going to give it a go. Like, everyone says it's the best
and this
RPG.
is PlayStation 4?
Yeah, PlayStation 4. And so I was like, I'm going to give it a go. So I gave it a go, and I played the full, like, 90 to 100 hours. Is one of the best RPGs I've ever played in my life. Like,
nice.
You really care about the characters. The action's good. Like, the soundtrack. Like, I know I've heard, like, it comes on your playlist quite a bit, and it's top-notch. Everything is good. So, like, I've become a huge fan. Like, I have, like, figures. It's on my phone background, and then when they announced Royal, I had to get the collector's edition.
Yeah.
So
like, you have this mask here?
No, it's not that one.
You know, that
one's too small,
mask?
or that one's too big.
See you later, Super Mario XY. Have a good Sunday, man. Thanks for coming in. Have fun playing Tears. So you're gonna show me this mask?
Oh,
you have a mask. Eric, jeez, Niger. That's what it says. It says Niger.
I refuse.
You refuse. Niger River. Why is this playing here? Oh my god. All right, let's kick this person out here. If we can.
Do you know that person?
No, it's just some
Oh.
random person.
Oh,
Random.
I thought it was your friend.
Nah, I have a cousin named Eric. Thanks.
Jesus.
God.
Oh,
and the
getting
camera
trolled.
moved.
Oh, and the camera moved too.
That's the downside of this camera is that I don't know why the facial tracking thing just turns on randomly. Okay. All right. Let's fix
How can you
things
tell if
up.
they're on YouTube or Twitch? The
it's-
symbol.
Well, it's
Would it be
yeah.
purple if it was Twitch?
Yeah, it'd be purple.
Okay.
Yeah. So another one is that we're trying to talk about is your your collectible thing here. So I don't know why this isn't working, so I'm just gonna bring this up closer. Which is kind of annoying. It just keeps shutting off. It's really dumb. Yeah. So yeah, why don't you show us what that is really quick?
So the collector's edition. Wait, where's my? Is it there?
You can show in the wide. I'm gonna fix the other thing up.
The white. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the collector's edition. Well, first it came with this box, this big ass box, and then so it came with. Let's see what's on the back. It has a Joker mask with stand. So Joker's the main character, and this is his mask, and it has these ribbons. It came with the game in a steelbook. I think it has the soundtrack. Nope, it does not.
Let me see.
Does it have the soundtrack? Oh, it does have the soundtrack. I think it's on the...
Have you ever put this mask on?
No, because it feels weird. It feels very fragile a little bit.
It does. It's like porcelain.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I mean, it's kind of neat.
Why is it like this?
Because it's for display, brother.
You can't wear it,
I don't know.
dude. It's not even like well strapped. Like if I put this on, it's not gonna work.
What does it look like on the
Well, all I
don't
can do is
know.
just hold it to my face like this.
Yeah. Oh, it's Joker. Joker's here. Save the day.
Wait, Joker's a good guy?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Did you think he was a bad guy?
I don't know anything about this game.
Like, it's literally about, like, they're finding people
I think
that
there's
are, like,
dust on there.
that
and
do
I have a
them...
eye.
Yeah, that they do bad, and then they try to fix it.
Yeah. And everything just came in this box. There's nothing else
Yeah.
in here.
There's an
It's supposed to
there's an
come
art
with
book
the-
too.
Yeah. There's some cool stuff on here. Like
Yeah,
there's the box there. It's pretty cool.
like the art looks really good.
Wow. Show that camera.
Let me find a good page. So then the art has like their like personas from Royal, because I think in Royal you level them up, or like they get to be a step up. Because I haven't seen these before. Like it says like William persona. Like this isn't their normal persona. Like this is. Oh wait, are we doing this one?
No, you can use it wide. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. This book is really cool. Has all the characters and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then this is the soundtrack?
I think the soundtrack is on the. It's either on the disc or it's in here. Oh no, it's right here.
Oh, the soundtrack is dope.
Yeah, but there's only 10 songs on here, and there's way more.
Oh, that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about buying the vinyl of it?
No,
No.
I didn't think about that. Ariana was asking me about the vinyl or like collecting vinyl, but it's just not.
It's cool.
It's not my jam. Yeah. Then they came out once there was like a new version of Persona 5 Royal, and I thought about getting the
Oh,
collectors.
it's cool that has artwork too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Have you played any of the other Persona games?
No, I thought about it, but there's still. It's just a commitment, you know.
Yeah, I know.
So I just don't want to like
Do it.
do it
Yeah.
because
And I still don't have it. And I even told you, if you get it for me for Christmas, I'll play it.
Really.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've never bought it for you.
I don't know.
Well, this Christmas, or maybe your birthday, or maybe Mother's Day.
Even Ryan bought me or maybe it was Ariana. I think Ariana bought me Nier, and I played it just to appease my friend Ryan because he wanted me to play Nier, which is a really weird game. It's like almost like an arcade style game.
Yeah,
Yeah. Have you played it?
I played like probably a third or a quarter of it. Like I
Yeah.
got through the first like
Uh-huh.
where you go to the castle or something, or like no, it's
I have no idea.
it's the carnival or the
Yeah,
whatever.
I that's one of the games I want to play though, because I need to go through my entire backlog
Yeah.
of stuff.
But the soundtrack in Nier is very good.
Yeah, I want that on vinyl actually.
Yeah.
And you can. There's so many things on if you go to the Square Enix site. Let's see here.
How much is Persona 5 on vinyl?
Probably expensive. They're always expensive, dude. So in here, in the store, they have a bunch of vinyl in here. And I would totally buy these if they weren't so expensive. Maybe it's in miscellaneous.
Persona 5 Royal Edition on vinyl is $177.
Jeez. Final Fantasy vinyl. Yeah, all this stuff here, and they're not terribly priced, but I know that this cost the shipping for this is $20, and if you were to add on another item, it makes it like an extra $2. So it's better just to buy in bulk, right? But like it's $55 for Final Fantasy 9, $55 for Final Fantasy 10.
That's all vinyl.
It's all vinyl, and then this one here, Final Fantasy series. It has a good collection from the main stage series of Final Fantasy games. $85. It's a 2 LP set. You know, it's really expensive, and I wanted to get one earlier last week because it was Golden Week, and it was reduced. It was like maybe 30% off, but at the same time, it's like $63 plus the $20 shipping plus the tax. That's pretty expensive. I don't want to pay $85 for vinyl. You know, it's another drop in a bucket. That's
Do the
expensive.
discs at least look cool rather than the plain old black?
They're just black.
Oh.
Yeah, but like I want them because I listen to this music
Video game
constantly,
music all the time. Yeah.
all the time. I listen to it constantly. So then, what I do now is if there's an artist who's making an LP of their own version of the video game soundtrack, then like that's where to go because it's way cheaper.
Yeah, like the Persona 5 ones. If you wanna look at it,
Ooh,
but-
wow.
yeah. Like at least the discs look cool. But I'm not paying $270 for.
Yeah, and you're not gonna listen to it.
Nope.
I doubt most people would even listen to this. Like most people would just keep it in the box.
I'd frame it.
Yeah, you can frame it too, but like I want to listen to it.
Yeah. Like those Dune vinyls that I got. Like my friend bought one of them off me, and then
Do you still have it?
I have one. Yeah.
No. Well, the Dune soundtrack is okay. It's Hans Zimmer.
It's just the way that for me with those, I feel like whenever there's a different looking disc, like it's cool to frame it.
I have this one here. This is cool. MCR Black Parade Target vinyl. My Chemical Romance, they released the vinyl over at Target randomly, and there's like a very specific. They have these picture discs which are cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
But they have one. Where is it? I can't find it anywhere. But they have one where it's the black one, and it's like 4 sides, but on the 4th side, there's nothing on it. There's no music on it. So instead, they etched the cover, the artwork cover, onto the vinyl itself. So if you shine it to the light, you can see it etched on the vinyl. But there's no music on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or at least I've never tried because I never wanted to scratch the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool little thing they did. That'd be kind of cool to see what that sounds like. Yeah. Cool. So we still have Eric as our main contributor here. Thank you. I hope you make it back here, Eric, whoever you are. So where are we at right now, and how much longer do we want to go about this? Because I think everybody's doing Mother's Day stuff, and everybody's also playing Tears of the Kingdom. You want to do share 2 more games?
Yeah.
So yeah, you were talking about Persona 5. Oh, one of my favorite ones, and I was telling Ariana about this, is Pokemon Gold. Pokemon Gold.
You remember getting that day one?
So the story that I have for this one for Pokemon Gold is that, everyone our age, if you play Pokemon, you were so excited for it.
For sure.
I remember the day before that release date, I went to Target and they had the Nintendo guide to Pokemon Gold, but they didn't have the Pokemon game. So then I bought it. I was so excited. I read the whole thing in one day, the day before the game came out, because I was so excited for the game. And then the next day, I come home from middle school. I walked home and I was calling a friend, my mom, let's go to Target so we can get the game. And I didn't know where she was. She wasn't home. And then I look at the table, and she bought the game.
Oh, that's
She
nice.
bought the game, and it was there. Like, after school, I was so ready. And then I opened it up. I was so excited. I put it in. And I remember I was playing the game, and I was so excited about playing it. I even was telling my dad about it, saying, like, oh, the first one, you can play, like, in the Kanto region, but this one's even bigger because you're in this region and going to the Kanto region again. I was and the music was great and all the new Pokemon. I was so excited to see the new Pokemon. Like, I don't get excited about Pokemon at all anymore. I played, the last one I played was Sword and Shield, right? But I was hyped for it, but it wasn't that good.
Gold?
No.
Sword and Shield?
Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Wasn't very good. And I like when you finally get to the area where it's free roaming, I was like, oh, finally we can move the camera. And it was glitchy, and like people would pop in randomly.
Yeah.
Right? And finally when you do the Gigantamax battle, it's cool because you're with your friends, but it loses its luster, but it loses the magic of what you were excited for because you realize this isn't very good. So then that did not get me at all happy for any of the DLC. Ariana bought the DLC. I had no interest in playing the DLC. But during COVID, for Sword and Shield, I was bored. So I was like, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to get all 400 Pokemon in the Pokedex. And I did it in 5 days. I was like, and this is like in March. And I was like,
Oh, I forgot you did that. That's crazy.
And I was like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So I did Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I played that so much.
Yeah.
That's such a good game. Or not Odyssey, Origins, the Egypt one.
Yeah.
That one's real good. So for this one, this is one of my favorite memories for like day one releases.
So you had gold before you had silver?
I never had silver.
Oh.
No. I had crystal though.
What was crystal? That was one of the Suicune, right?
Yeah, I had Suicune on the cover.
On the cover, right?
Yeah. Let's see, guy on the right looks so big.
I think that's me.
No, that's me. I'm on. Wait.
I think
on, right.
on camera, I'm on the right.
Wait.
I'm sober though.
I mean, we're both sober.
I'm hella tired though.
I'm hungover because I was baked yesterday.
Yeah.
But Flux, if I don't think you've ever been on our chats, but this is Adam. I'm Arnell. We talk video games. This is the weekends we're just talking about video.
I mean,
it's hot. It's hot.
I stayed up late playing Diablo.
You were playing Diablo for the beta for the anal monster, right?
And I woke up at 7.
Yeah, I was playing Zelda too, and then I woke up at 8:30 or 8:45 before we had to go to get brunch with your mom, right? And then I was like, I don't want to get out of bed. I'm tired. This is the best sleep I've had in months, you know. And then, jeez, Adam looks so big, but so you don't even smoke.
No,
you didn't even smoke this entire weekend.
No, I did. I did yesterday.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also super dehydrated from yesterday too.
Yeah. Yesterday didn't help.
Yep. Dude, Flex, what's up? We're talking about favorite day one video game releases because, the new Zelda game came out. And you're just talking about all this stuff. Like, we talked about Pokemon Gold. We talked about the Zelda games for me because I bought a Switch day one. We talked about Warcraft and the expansion sets. We talked about Resident Evil 4 Remake. So, yeah, if you have, like, a favorite video game day one memory that you want to share, bring it up. I'd love to talk about that. We're almost wrapping up here. We got like 3 more games we're going to talk about. Twilight Princess. Nice. Yeah, dude. Like, I don't think I got that one day one. Did you have a Wii U or a Wii?
No.
But also, you have only played Wind Waker.
I've only played Wind Waker.
And you didn't play Ocarina?
No. Only the first temple. On the 3DS. I think it's because it was on the 3DS and I didn't like the controls.
Wait, you played the Ocarina of Time?
Ocarina of Time on the 3DS.
Well, those are kind of different, honestly. If you play it on the original Nintendo 64, the controls are really solid. I mean, for their time, that they you can still learn it and it works pretty good.
Yeah.
But the 3DS controls, it cramps your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
I feel like the 3DS was good for like certain things, but not like an action game.
Yeah,
For me,
I always had to buy like a third party ergonomic thing because my hands would cramp on them. But the larger the 3DS, if you had the 3DS XL, that fit in your hand better. But like the smaller ones, they don't fit that well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Twilight Princess. I don't know if I got that day one.
That was one with the dog, right? Where
You're the wolf.
dog-
You turn into the wolf. I don't remember. I think I might have gotten it at least like on the first month or so. I was pretty excited about it because it was just dark, and it's not one of my favorite Zelda games. I replayed it, and after I replayed it, I realized I didn't really like it as much as the first time. But the first time I played it, I was astonished by how cool the game was because it was dark.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to, I still do, but I listen to emo music and goth music and pop and punk music. So to me, like when I played Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, I was like, yeah, it's dark and edgy.
Twilight Princess sounds like an album cover.
Maybe, or a band that
Or a
plays
band.
covers of the Legend of Zelda music. Yeah, it was pretty dark, and I think the big reason why I didn't like the game as much as the others was that it had like a 10-hour tutorial pretty much, which I didn't care for. It was like about a lot of big fetch system. Oh shoot, nice dude! Your figures are finally put in display. Send me them on Instagram so I can take a look at your setup. I still have a big villain shelf. I should probably send you my villain shelf. But I was thinking about making a video game shelf and taking out my DC Icons action figures. But I'll show you those later too. So what's another game, a day one game release you remember?
I have to look at my list. What's the list?
I think we finished your list, dude.
No, we did.
FromSoft game.
I knew there was like a big one.
Yeah, FromSoft game.
Yeah, I'm a huge. Okay, so I was also late to the Souls games, like FromSoft, and Bloodborne was the very first one that I played on PS4.
Was that a day one?
Yeah, actually, I did buy Bloodborne day one, and it had such a learning curve that it was so frustrating. But once I understood the game, beating bosses and getting this like rush, I've never felt that like in any game that I've played before, and so I was just so stoked, and it got me to play like Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring, Sekiro. What's the other one? The one
Elden
that came
Ring?
out for PS5? No.
Oh, Demon Souls.
Demon Souls. Although that one doesn't age well, but it looked really cool. But like all Souls games, I will always buy
So
them
like,
day one.
are you saying that I really should play another FromSoft game? Because I tried Demon Souls PS5 remake, and it does look astonishingly good. It's
doesn't
really
play
good
well.
looking. But I can't even beat the freaking Tower Knight, dude. I have no idea to beat the Tower Knight. I tried so many times. I even like assigned a strategy. I would record my gameplay. Like, all right, like that's where I attack. I could never beat it.
I want you to. I mean,
It
honestly,
turned me off. It was like, I don't ever want to play this again. This is stupid. I've been playing for 2 hours and I finally got to Tower Knight.
Did you ever load in Bloodborne?
I did, and it took me about an hour and a half to finally get around the gate to open it to the shortcut. And then I was able to live past that shortcut gate to get through the boss gate. And then I was like, okay, like this is it. Here's the boss. I have to do the shortcut thing again if I can get here. And then all of a sudden Tyler's like, hold up, just summon me. And then I summon him and we go and we fight it. And then it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun because he beat everything for me, and it was the exact reason why I don't like Diablo. Like, people tell me Diablo 3 is a fun game, it's better with your friends. Same thing with Destiny, and I realize I don't like those games where someone who's really high powered comes in with you and completely destroys that boss, and you're not contributing into the battle. Like, I don't want to be the little brother holding a controller that's not connected to the Nintendo. That's what Diablo is.
Yeah.
It's so
boring.
boring.
It's why like usually when like in those the Tyler thing is different, but and like the other ones you usually like would start something new. But like I would love for me to like watch you play Bloodborne, or me and Tyler to watch you, and then there's no summoning. You do it by yourself.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I liked the concept of Bloodborne, and in the world of it, but I have no interest in it. Dude, Hydro, happy Mother's Day, man! Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, but he's saying Elden Ring is a good one,
that's the other thing.
I actually do agree with that.
Everyone says is that's the one that's the most accessible, because if you can't beat something, you can go somewhere else and go do something else. And I think I'll probably do that later this year. And what's cool is that Tyler, he bought the game. He bought Elden Ring day one, of course. You know, he loaded up, had it digital, and he liked it so much he bought this special edition where it comes with that statue. Do you know that one?
I've probably seen it. I just don't remember.
Elden Ring Special Edition.
I have to sneeze.
Do it.
It's not coming.
I'm not. Search your feelings, you must.
Shit. Oh, oops. Oh, I had a feeling
why
it was
is this
Millennia.
backwards? I think it's this one.
Or Millennia.
Yeah, I remember the long sword.
$1,500?
No, it's not 15. Well, maybe it's $1,500. But yeah, he has this one that comes with a statue. So because he bought the digital version of it, it came with a physical version.
No, you want to watch Zelda.
Yeah.
Not Elden Ring.
Yeah, exactly. Targeted information, right? So it came with the physical version.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa, dude! Now you have the digital and the physical version. And Tyler's like, dude, just keep that one. He gave me Elden Ring, like the physical version of Elden Ring for PS5.
Yeah.
So it's still, it actually, I did open it to install it,
Mm-hmm.
and I never played it.
You know what's nice about Elden Ring is that there's different builds that you can do with different weapons.
Mm-hmm.
In the other ones, like Dark Souls 3 does a pretty good job of like allowing you to do different builds, but Elden Ring you can do like you can play with like, you know, a sword, you can do a big sword, you can use big weapons, you can be a sorcerer if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many choices where in the other ones like Bloodborne, you just find a weapon that you like and then you just stick with that weapon throughout the entire game.
Uh-huh.
Which is kind of like a bummer, but the like Elden Ring does like for me I went into it like this time I'm gonna do a sorcerer and
Mm-hmm.
I did magic.
What's the
entire
easy
way.
mode? Is it magic?
Magic's pretty easy.
Yeah.
But you have to. I mean, yes and no. Like
Uh-huh.
Millennia was pretty hard with magic
Yeah.
because
like,
she's really fast.
Yeah.
Like, she's very fast.
Because I have no problem with hard games, with difficult games, but only I have a threshold. Like you have a lower threshold or high. I don't know which one it is, but you gravitate towards that challenge. You like that challenge, especially for the FromSoft games. But for me, it doesn't appeal to me. Like it can be hard, but I have to be able to beat it. And Metroid Dread is the perfect example of that. Metroid Dread is a hard game. It's a difficult game, but it's extremely fair. And I remember on like the final boss of the game, I would just play, and like I would blink. I would just get into it, and then I'd play for like an hour, and I wouldn't be able to beat it, but I was able to progress to the next stage of the boss, and I was able to learn all this stuff. And then I'd go back to work, and I would come back later on, like to play for another 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then I would get better and better and better. But it was like, I'm sure like maybe it would be the same case like if you were playing Demon Souls, but the problem with that is you don't load right before the boss. You load from one section, so you have to do that again to make it to the boss.
Demon Souls.
So then
is
there
way more
is
punishing.
like a 15-20 minute, more like a 5 minute, if you play that section well to get to like the boss, you have to still redo that and have enough of your health, and it's just tough.
In Demon Souls, I've learned that the bosses are easier than the path.
Well, good for you, because I was never able to beat Tower Knight.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, but yeah, that's just. I don't know what to say to that, but
It's
just
hard.
It
Hits you it kills you in 2 hits, and you're done.
Well, don't get hit.
Well, yeah, but I'm gonna get hit, and then I don't even get like the chance to
Don't get
even
hit.
like practice it. It was just like, oh, I got hit, and I have to do it again. There's no practice. I have to
Guess.
constantly go back through the
feel like-
path to fight the boss. But like Metroid Dread loads you right in front of the boss, so you practice.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
I see. I mean,
But
Demon
that's what I
Souls-
mean. It's like it's punishing. It's not fun.
Demon Souls for me was not a fun game. Like it wasn't like the other ones. Like Bloodborne is like I feel like there's a rush. Like it feels really good. Like you can feel yourself like you're gonna beat it, and then like Elden Ring, like all of them. But Demon Souls, like it's kind of like it just put a nice paint job on like an old car, but didn't redo the inside, and it still runs
Yeah.
like shit. That's
Yeah.
basically what that game felt
Yeah,
like.
that's a good way to put it. And that's what everyone tells me too. And everyone always tells me, if you're looking for the most accessible one, Elden Ring.
Yeah, I agree with that. For
Yeah.
sure.
So I really should get on that because but also at the same time, like, do I really want to inject more anger into my life?
Brother, any video game you play is like triggering for you.
Nah, man. The only thing
You
where
play
it's
Splatoon, that's a child's game, and you're literally screaming at it.
well, yeah, but like that like
It's a lie.
like in Splatoon 3, it's different. It's more like you have good games, you have bad games.
I get
It's-
it.
It's like someone who's better than you. Damn, they're fucking good. You know.
I don't
But
think
then,
I've ever I don't think I've ever witnessed a game, you playing a game, and you haven't yelled at the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's more like that's how I react to video games.
I know.
It's just part of who I am. But like in terms of like pure rage,
Okay.
pure
so
rage.
There's a level.
Yeah,
Scale.
there's a level and scale of it. Like Battlefield, when I was playing that, I'd get mad because I had a bad match or like a bad like 35,
For sure.
40 minutes
I mean,
we're
that
all
one I
losing,
can.
and it's like
Yeah.
you know, like whatever. Like that's frustrating because everyone's really like your team sucks or like you're carrying your team or like the level's dumb. But when it's a game is specifically made to kill you, like definitely like I think Demon Souls was like one of the games where it was just like there's no point in playing this. And it was same thing
Yeah.
for like Hollow Knight. I was able to like almost get to the end, but I couldn't beat this one thing, and I was like, you know what? I put 50 hours in this game. I'm good. I
Hollow
just
Knight
stopped.
felt really good. I played a little bit of that.
Yeah, you should play Hollow. You should play that one. That one's and there's Silk Song too. That's a hard game, but people say that's essentially like a FromSoft video game, but in Metroidvania style, and it is hard.
Yeah.
But it's different because you can I don't know if it's different, but like whatever.
Yeah.
I played it as much as I could, but I couldn't beat it.
The story in Elden Ring is actually pretty good too. I mean, you're able to follow it. The other ones are more obscure, where like they speak in riddles, or you have to read items to understand the story. And that's one thing I don't like about FromSoft games.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this one guy, this YouTuber Vadi. He does like deep dives into the lore of like one thing. It could be like 30 minutes, and it's like it's really in depth, but like you won't know that unless if you read. But with Elden Ring, it was very on the surface, which was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do one more share and we'll call it a day here, but I'm struggling to remember like another day one release. You have to go into your memory banks here. And I know you're a little baked. You look a little baked. I'm really hungover is what I am.
I think it's my allergies.
And it's also hot.
I was even like looking at my catalog, and I don't even know. I mean, it's in the realm of
I
like
know-
WoW, but I will be playing Diablo 4.
Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo. That's what I call it. Diablo.
Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo 4.
Look at this. There.
Just pants.
Yeah. So one for me is
Okay.
yeah.
I think I lasted a week before I had to buy it,
Yeah.
because
Blew your load?
it was because I didn't want to see spoilers.
Yeah, that was a big one for me. I didn't
So
want
I
to see
bought it
spoilers.
because I didn't want to see spoilers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is a game where it's like the spoilers really matter.
Yeah.
You know, because the narrative and everything is so good. And like even Last of Us Part 2, I didn't get spoiled at all. I avoided everything and I played it 2 years after
Yeah.
release.
You know, same. I got it spoiled when I went to your house. Like,
Last of Us 2?
yeah. I avoided spoilers too until that moment.
What was the spoiler?
Who Abby was.
Oh.
I had
Abby was.
I had a feeling that. Can I say?
Sure.
Like that Joel died.
Mhm.
Because I can't talk about it at work either. Like you can't.
I didn't. Yeah, I know.
You know, you can't
because
talk
like
about it at
people
work.
watch the first
Yeah.
season. Yeah, you can't
So,
talk about it.
But I had a feeling that Joel died because everyone's like that moment, and it's like, of course, what moment are we talking about? And it's like,
I mean, I think
it
I
was either Ellie or
saw
Joel dies.
right before I played Last of Us 2. Like on YouTube, I was seeing like suggestions for videos, and one of the titles was like why they killed Joel, and I was like, what? And this was literally a day before I played Last of Us Part 2, and I was like, he dies? But then I didn't expect him to die so early in the game. I thought he was gonna die like later in the game, you know. So then, I guess that was technically a spoiler for me. It was like much later.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a. But like yeah, I guess one of the other big spoilers is who Abby is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big spoiler in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna play it?
I already played it
You played it already?
and beat it. Yeah.
When?
I beat it within like 3 days.
When?
The weekend after I visited you guys, I think.
Really? You never even mentioned it.
Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't that. It was last weekend. So whenever.
Last weekend.
Yeah. So
I mean, let's talk about it. Did you like it?
It was really good. Actually, I beat it around like 11:30 before bed on like Monday, and I went to bed depressed.
I went to bed at 1 a.m. depressed. And then I remember I was playing it, and like Tyler was watching me too, and it was like Ariana went to sleep already, and then it.
So she didn't watch the end.
All right, did you watch the end with me for Last of Us 2 on live?
I thought.
No, you did. Yeah, you weren't. You were there for the whole thing. Yeah, but I played a little bit longer because I wanted to check out the extra stuff you get with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but oh man, like, so did you like every part of the game, or did you dislike any part of the game? Because it's a very mixed review, whereas like there's a lot of people who like it and like a strong minority who dislike it.
Do you think the strong minority that don't like it is because of like the LGBT moments?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I felt like it wasn't like
Yeah,
forced.
a lot of it is that, and then part of it too is that they didn't like that you had to play as Abby, because like they had a relationship with Ellie as a character, and then now you had to play, and you know, like a part of it is just talking about or trying to invoke people to have a sense of empathy, right? And that's been a buzzword in the last, I don't know, almost 10 years, and people are kind of sick of hearing that word a lot of times.
Empathy.
Yeah, and especially like gamers. Gamers are a very salty crowd. If there's anything that has that pushes you to critically think about yourself and how to approach people differently, they just puts a lot of gamers into like a spiral where it's like they get mad and they push back, get defensive, and all of a sudden they get fired.
I mean, I feel like too, like, yeah, like what I really liked about it was once I learned and saw the scene of Joel dying, like I hated that group, the wolf pack.
I hated them.
And I was like,
let's go
okay,
get 'em.
we're gonna like this. These are all the bosses. We're gonna defeat all of them, and let's just get it done.
Yep.
And then once the Abby storyline hit, I was like, okay, I still dislike her. It still has to happen. I get it. But then as I progressed through Abby's storyline, once I got to the end, like I didn't know how it was gonna happen. Like when Ellie was chasing after her, and then when Ellie was like, no, I'm still gonna kill you. I'm just like I hope it doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. And I love that I caught myself being like, man, I really I'm surprised that I don't want for Abby to die.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Even though she did something like, I mean.
Yeah, I had a whole problem with that whole thing too, because it's like Ellie had everything. Ellie had her life. She had her girlfriend, her wife. She had a child. She lived in the farmhouse. She was able to. She made it in a sense, like in a world where everything is broken up. She found a life to live into. Mm-hmm. But then because Tommy comes in with a little bit of inkling to say like, hey, you know, we find out like something, she goes down that path once again, and it's like, how could you possibly throw everything away just because of this? And she should know that Joel would not want her to do that, because even Joel was saying, let it go, for a guy who, for years after the death of his child, having to turn his heart cold and just not care about anyone. You know, he's the person to tell her, to lecture her. He would know. Mm-hmm. You know, and Ellie decides to ignore that advice and go. She throws away everything to go and do that. And even when I got to Santa Barbara, which was a really good level, it was a great level, right? I was like, dude, what are you doing here? Mm-hmm. What are you doing here? And as you go down further into this hole, like you realize, like, oh, these guys are messed up. You know, like, my favorite part of the game was the story it's pretty good. A lot of people say there's different ways to go about it, but for me, the big thing about the game that I loved was the world building. Because in the first one, you don't get a sense of the world, how it's built. You get the basic sense of the world went to crap, and this is how it is. You're just gonna go run through crap, and it's more of a story between Joel and Ellie. But in the second one, there isn't as much of a relationship between Ellie and other characters. It's just really just Ellie just going down this path. And like, even her relationship with Dana is not Dana. What's her name? Dina. It's really not that strong. And even like Abby and her friends, like the relationships with them, they don't feel that strong. But what it did differently was the world building, where you saw what Seattle turned into. You got to see the fallout of how Fedra tried to take control, and then another power took over, and they were trying to keep control, but like they're also vying within and at odds with another like a what's it called, like a group who are not align with their goals. Who are they called? The Scars. And
Yeah.
then they end up
Seraphites.
the Seraphites.
Yeah.
They end up having to fight each other,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was another world building that you got to see. And then when you get to Santa Barbara, you see another glimpse of how another society fell, crumble, and who came and rose, and what
Yeah.
they did with those resources. And it's completely different from what the Wolves did. So it's really cool to see all these different pockets across these different regions, how they handled the apocalypse, right? And then Santa Barbara was. I have actually a conspiracy theory, like what happened with Santa Barbara, and it's that all the coastal cities, like they tried to hold on to power with federal and stuff like that, because like California is very much, a lot of the places are very much like, let's listen to the government. You know, like the Bay Area, for example, was very, what's the word? They really accepted what the government was telling them what to do. So it made for a very easy kind of transition to that part during COVID, right? And other places around the country, they pushed back a lot harder. Other places were a little bit more like in the middle. So it makes sense how in California, like how federal would keep. But eventually, you know, push comes to shove, it gets worse and worse, right? So those places collapse. But for Santa Barbara, because of its vicinity to Central California, I think what happened was that a lot of the drug trafficking that happens in Central California, those cartels, they took over and they killed those coastal communities in like Monterey, Santa Barbara, all of that, because they have guns and they just kind of have like the attitude of like, we're cartels, we're just going to take power over this.
Yeah.
And that's what they did in Santa Barbara. So they just killed all the rich and took whatever they wanted, and they put them into like, you know, jail. But then the fact that they put them into the pillars, I was like, this is messed up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, these people are on another level of inhumanity, and that's what I think. Like, you know, cartels. Like, I have no problem believing that that's what they would do. Are you kidding me? Like, cartels absolutely would do that.
Yeah.
They just want money and power. So in during the apocalypse, they're going to do the same. The advantage they have is they have guns. Yeah. So, game was good. The last one I wanted to share was God of War Ragnarok. So yeah, this one here, I bought PlayStation 5 in 2021 because of, you know, like it was hard to find. So I got it through a lottery system to get it, and I remember I got Far Cry 6, which wasn't very good, and I traded that for Demon's Souls, and I didn't like that either. What I really need is I need a high powered PC to be able to play Far Cry 6 on like stronger graphic levels, because Far Cry 6 on my current engine, it doesn't work. And I looked at the specs, and they require minimum specs for that to be a 3060 graphics card, and I have a 2060 Super, so I have to play at 1080 with all the graphic stuff turned off. But my PlayStation 5 collected dust for almost a year, and then I bought this. It arrived on day one, and I started it up, and it took me 3 months to beat because I was also playing Xenoblade, and I couldn't find time to play God of War, but luckily I was able to avoid spoilers for everything. And then story was great. I loved God of War Ragnarok. The gameplay was really good, and did I 100% everything?
I tried, but then
I got every single quest.
Did you beat all the berserkers?
I did. Yeah, and I even beat Gna. And Gna?
I didn't beat all of them, I don't think.
Yeah, Gna. Did you don't remember beating all the Valkyries in the first one?
Yeah.
Gna is the head Valkyrie.
Oh.
So she makes an appearance again.
Oh.
And you fight her, and she's difficult. I have a whole gameplay. You want to see?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes your gameplay makes me dizzy.
Well, okay. Let's do it anyway. I want to see you get dizzy.
Honestly, like when I bought Last of Us when I was watching you play, because sometimes
it was
the way you
$10.
play drives me nuts. Yeah.
What do you mean it drives you
It
nuts?
just makes me dizzy. The way you move around makes me dizzy.
Oh, also I have motion control set too.
Yeah.
You know. Let's see. Videos. Playlists. God of War Ragnarok. Where is it? I wish this was a little bit better. Gna. So I had to give up on this, and I had to cheat and find like someone else to show me how to beat it. So then I did the whole like build for the runing thing, and this whole thing basically is run up, do all of your special things, like like all like the special ability for your weapons,
Yeah.
and then after that survive long enough
To, like,
so that they come back and spam it again. So you do all your special runes for your light attacks, special runes for hard attacks.
That's what I do.
Yeah. And
Wait.
I had to watch someone give me like this tutorial, and it took me several times to do it.
Wait, so this is in Muspelheim, but like,
There's a little section, if you go to the right, you go underneath a little rock formation, and then you jump across, and she's there waiting for you.
does it only unlock after you beat all the berserkers, or when
It
does she
unlocks
unlock?
after you beat the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe I'll go back and platinum it. I didn't know.
Or
This
it wasn't. Gna is actually not in the first one. What's her name? Sindri.
Something like that.
What's her name?
Yes.
Whatever. Yeah. So
I don't know.
she's no longer the Valkyrie Queen. So what's his name? Odin found a new Valkyrie Queen. So this is the new Valkyrie Queen. So then you beat her, and then Freya's like, "I am the new Valkyrie Queen," and she gets a special suit of armor.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I beat her here.
Do you think they're gonna make one another Ragnarok and two another? Oh, you did get platinum. Nice.
Yeah, that was the last thing that I got. But yeah, it took me a long time to figure out how to beat her. And luckily the PlayStation 5 has such a fast loading speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like literally you die and you come back in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You think they're gonna release a new God of War at some point?
yeah, because it made money. Of course. Like Santa Monica doesn't make anything else.
Do you think that they'll like wait until PS6 or it'll come out on the PS5? Because when
They'll probably do it for PS5. Like it might be like the last PlayStation 5 release.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think maybe it will be a different world. Like maybe it will be Egypt or something, or maybe it won't even be Kratos. Maybe it will be completely different. Yeah, but the gameplay and the storytelling, I honestly think the storytelling in God of War 1 was better than 2. Yeah, I just really like the father-son bond and how they were always connected for the entire game. And this one, you're bouncing between the characters a couple times. I didn't like it as much.
Like I loved Loki's story, but I didn't like.
Well, there
I
was
didn't
a
like
stupid
playing
part
as
where you had
Loki
to
as
go
much.
into
with
the
girl.
Ironwood.
Yeah, that was
and
so
I was
boring.
like, why do I have to listen to this?
It was so long.
It's really boring. Yeah, and unfortunately it did not go, but here you can see her die. Here it comes. It's gonna kill her. There you go. Beat it for you. There was this other one called Roll something. Where is it? There it is. This one here. This was a great fight, and what I learned about this one was you just have to go pure defense. So on Gna, you just go full offense, spam everything, let everything rebuff, and repeat, rinse and repeat, and survive during those periods where like you can't. And then you're listening for all the cues all of a sudden. You're watching for anything that gives you a clue onto the attack. But this one here, literally, don't even play offensively because it's very easy to predict his stuff. And constantly use that thing where like you generate for the health.
Yeah.
Because it gives you like a little bit of invulnerability for that one section, right? But like even that there at that point where like he rises in the air and he comes down, I would literally just count like up in the air, 1, 2, roll every single time because I could time when he was gonna come.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a pretty good fight, and I threw just a lot of stuff at this guy. But yeah, like, and I would spam all my specials if I knew that I was like a little, like I could land as much attacks as possible.
Yeah.
And then even like those where he's like going like this, I got accustomed to like when I knew it wasn't going to be a red ring. Like that, like I just knew every single attack. It took me a long time to figure it out, but this one here I was able to figure out without a guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was pretty
Like if
happy
you can
about
do
this
stuff
one.
like this, you can definitely do like Elden Ring or Bloodborne.
Well, it goes back to the thing where you don't load up in front of the boss.
You do on the other ones.
In
Or on those
Bloodborne?
two. I mean, it's better.
Yeah, you still have to go through the shortcut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's different. This one's a tombstone.
I know, but
It's different. It's like
better
literally
than,
loads me up
it's
right
better
there.
than Demon Souls, where Demon Souls you have to
Well,
run
does it
through
in
the whole
Elden Ring?
damn
Does it
castle.
load you up in front of the boss?
Like close enough.
Close enough. You
It,
still
it
have to
just
battle
it just
enemies.
depends. It depends. It depends on if it's a side boss or like a legit boss.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It's been a minute since I played that game.
Yeah, see, like even that, I got used to his projectiles. I figured out every single way to do it, and I almost lost at the very end. Actually, I was playing kind of sloppy because like when I get to the heat of the moment, I'm like, oh no, I'm sweating,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But yeah, I just loved pairing with this. It was so satisfying to parry every single thing they was throwing at me. Yeah, this was a good one to fight. So, yeah, I think that concludes it. So I'm talking about an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
The chat's pretty empty. Even Eric's not saying anything. So,
Well, let's hope that you banned him.
I know he was just bored on a Sunday and wanted to say hey to anybody. Maybe he's just reaching out for some friends. But yeah, I'm tired. I'm exhausted.
I'm ready for eye drops.
I'm ready to like lie down and do nothing for like 10 minutes. And,
We need to go. I know we gotta rest up for Evil Dead Rise.
you know,
Gotta watch Mommy
is it
scare us.
2:30 or 2:45?
2:25.
2:25, even better.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to get lunch? Do I want to eat movie theater food?
We have to have popcorn.
I don't know if I want popcorn. Honestly, we'll see. But yeah, thanks for joining the stream, Adam.
Thanks for
This was
having me.
fun.
It
Yeah.
was fun.
Well, maybe we'll stream again when you go to see the T Swift show. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see. And,
I'll
and
talk
you and
about.
Sunny are gonna come, right?
I'll talk about all 40 songs. All 40.
Ugh. I mean, I like Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's definitely at least 10 songs from Taylor Swift that I like. But she has also a lot of albums. Did you see that in Nashville? It was raining and she had like a 40... Was it a 40 song set, or was it like a 4 hour?
It's 3 hours, like 3.5 hours, and it is like 40 plus songs.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be so tired.
And I don't think she stops.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
pretty
there's I don't think she stops.
Dude, does she have like a hologram that comes up? Because I'd be so tired. I'd be like, give me some water.
I think there are some things when she does like costume changes, like when she stage dives.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No.
There's like a hole in the stage, and she stage dives, and then she's like a mermaid. Like the stage is a screen, and you can see her like swimming underneath.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's not her, but
It's not her.
right.
No.
Well, it probably is, but just not her.
Not her.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Should be very good. I'm excited.
All right. Well, there you go, people. There it is. Thanks for everyone who came by. It was pretty quiet today because we're fighting against one, Zelda, 2, Mother's Day, and 3, the fact that there's only like 3 people who watch my stuff. But you 3 people who do, including you, Adam.
That's so sad.
That's the reality of it.
I need to put. It reminds me. I need to put notifications on your name.
Yeah,
I don't do that.
you should.
That's what I'm gonna do
You
right
can
now.
help me. You should. Do you even follow?
Someone's in there. I do follow you. How dare?
If you're in here, if you're lurking,
No, wait. I do have notifications on for you.
then why don't you get anything?
I don't know. Why is your hair so long in that profile picture?
Because it was long in that profile picture.
Oh.
It wasn't more recently until my wedding where I cut my hair,
Oh.
and that was a year ago. And I haven't cut my I have cut my hair, but not like in length, and it's taken a long time. Like it's like slowing down. It doesn't grow as fast.
Mm.
I'm not getting enough
You just have
sun.
to push harder.
Okay, all right, that's the stream. All right, everybody.
All right. Bye, everyone.